Hello, today I would like to talk about discrimination against Muslim Americans. But before we go into start, I would like to ask you one very quick question. Just imagine you are on an airplane up in the sky, and next to you there is a Muslim American who starts all of a sudden praying. What would you feel? Would you feel threatened? Would you feel fear? Would you have positive or negative attitudes toward the man, toward Muslim Americans? Most likely negative. But now imagine the same man who is being introduced by your teacher to your class as a new student. Would you feel the same negative attitudes? Probably not. You may even feel positive attitudes toward the new student. And that's exactly what was indicated in the study named Attitudes Toward Muslim Americans post 9/11 by Masarat Khan and Catherine Eggland, who explored the type of situation-specific attitudes held by undergraduate non-Muslim students toward Muslim Americans post September 11, 2001. In situations where Muslim Americans were boarding a plane, higher negative attitudes were present. In light of the September 11 events, negative attitudes in plane situations might be expected more than negative attitudes in other situations. Specifically, individuals may express fear related to being on an airplane with a Muslim American. However, individuals did not express negative attitudes toward Muslim Americans in most other situations. Results of the study indicated people may feel negative in situations where they are more likely to feel threatened, rather than holding negative attitudes overall toward this group. Thus, findings indicated negative attitudes are situation-specific rather than global. But yes, we may feel negative attitudes in specific situations. And we may never forget what happened on September 11th, but have you thought what Muslim Americans might have gone through? Have you thought what they might have experienced? According to the Association of Perceived Abuse and Discrimination after September 11, 2001, with psychological distress, level of happiness, and health status among Arab Americans by Asim Padella and Michelle Heisler, in the United States, prejudice, discrimination, and violence against Muslims and Arabs have increased since September 11. The Federal Bureau of Investigation reported a 1,600 up to 1,700 increase in hate crimes against these populations in the year after the events of September 11. Just think of the number, 1,700%. I'll give you an example. You go to a store to buy some bread. The regular price will be about $3. But if you're Muslim, you will have to pay $51. How about that? Because you're Muslim, you have to pay $51 instead of $3. Yeah, maybe it's still small numbers. Let's look at a house. If you want to buy a house around $100,000, but if you're Muslim, you will have to pay almost $2 million. How about that? Is it fair? Because you're Muslim? Because of the stereotypes that are there, you will have to pay $2 million. And let's look at the crime rates as well. According to crimeinamerica.net, only 20 people among 1,000 people will become victims of crime, violence, or discrimination. But if you're Muslim, more than every third Muslim will become a victim of crime, violence, and discrimination. More than every third person. Not 20 people out of 1,000, not 2%, but 34% will become a victim of crime, discrimination, or violence. And the government even worsened the situation. Um, for example, in October 2001, the US Patriot Act was signed into law with almost no congressional debate. And as a result, according to the Office of Inspector General, the average time from arrest to clearance was 80 days, which means if you're a Muslim, you look suspicious, you are detained, and you may spend up to 3 months in prison until clearance, saying, hey, oh, you're not a terrorist. Have a good day. 3 months of great vacation. No wonder why in the same survey conducted by Michelle Heisler and Simpadella that 25% of the respondents reported post-September 11 personal abuse or abuse of household members related to race, ethnicity, or religion. 25%, every fourth. And at work, the situation was not better. Muslim workers have reported that they have been victims of employment discrimination. Workers report name calling by coworkers such as terrorist or Osama. Can you just imagine you go to work and you are called a terrorist? And the reasons behind the American misunderstanding of Islam can be traced to media stereotypes that have permeated American pop culture. Muslim men are portrayed in traditional Arab dress, indicating fundamentalism. Almost all Muslims are portrayed as Arabs, despite the fact that only about 20% of the worldwide Muslim population identify themselves as Arabs. 20%, which means 80% becomes victims of your stereotype of Islam. Of course, Islamic organizations can definitely increase our knowledge by providing an insight into the Islamic world through on the internet, books, literature, everywhere. But it's up to you to understand that Islam is a religion just like Christianity. And Muslims are just like Christians. They are just like people. So it's time to stop considering them terrorists. They're not terrorists. It's their religion. Just like we believe in our God, they believe in their God. And it's not terrorism. They're not terrorists. So please understand their religion and treat them like you treat yourself. Thank you.